Hey, Smack, should I still pick up Feixiao if I don't have Robin or if I don't own Topaz? What do her best teams look like? How strong is Feixiao? Is she worth pulling over Robin? I've been getting a lot of questions lately along the lines of what I just mentioned to you, and that has prompted me to take a gander and fully study up on Feixiao's kit, Moses kit, March 7th, the Imaginary Versions kit. Also, I can answer all those questions for you guys, which we've went ahead and put together a list in tier list fashion on how strong Feixiao is, depending on the... Sorry, I heard a motorcycle, some douchebag on a motorcycle was making noises, so I had to like take a little break. Depending on who you own, I think you'll have a good understanding with regards to how strong Feixiao is going to be. Plus, you'll be able to see what I personally think she's going to do the best in with regards to characters I'm building around her. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, keep in mind, guys, this is my personal insight and preferences on what I think is going to work the best, which, to be honest with you, I'm Steph Curry with the shot all the time. All right, chill, little bro, chill. Smack's top Feixiao team. Smack, what the hell, brother? That shit is blank. What's going on here, little bro? I just want to show them like one at a time. So what do I think is going to be the absolute best team for Feixiao? Boom. I think this team right here is going to be the best team in the entirety of the game. I think it's going to be meta. I think it's going to make her T0. She's going to be on the level of Acheron and Firefly with this team composition right here in particular. You'll notice it is definitely damn expensive. Not for veterans, but definitely if you're on the newer side of things, if you barely picked up Honkai Star Row within the past 3 months or so, yes, this team's going to be expensive because you need Topaz, you need Robin, you need every single limited banner character pretty much is, yeah, it's an expensive team. I don't know what else to tell you. However, if you do have these characters or plan on acquiring these characters, this team's going to pop the fuck off. Feixiao's kit is a kit that actually thrives when others move, when others do actions, and it's a follow-up friendly kit. What's crazy is that it's also become aware to me that she is the hunt path emanator. Sorry, bro, I couldn't help myself. She's like the queen of the hunt path. What I mean by that is, if you have hunt path characters on her team, chances are, with the exception of like a Boot Hill, or maybe even a Dr. Ratio, you might be able to make Dr. Ratio work. It'd be a little wonky, but she's gonna pop off with them because a lot of the hunt path characters move a lot of times or commit to a lot of actions, and committing to actions is literally a battery to Feixiao. I can't say exactly because they haven't disclosed it yet, but what I can tell you is that every time your team commits to a number of attacks, Feixiao is going to get a battery towards her ultimate. She's literally like Acheron. Acheron gets ultimate based off of how many debuffs are applied. She gets an ultimate based off how many times your team attacks. So she doesn't have an energy meter bar like the majority of the characters in the game. She's literally like Acheron, except she functions a little bit differently. That said, Topaz is one of the best units in the game when it comes to moving a bunch of times. Not only does she attack, so does Numbi. And then when you pop her ult, Numbi attacks even more times. And then he advances himself forward when you have a team of follow-up attack synergies, such as Aventurine, Feixiao, Topaz herself included. And then you have the most broken support in the game for action value manipulation, which is Robin. So when you take all these factors into the equation, you could see why this team's going to be very strong. The other thing that's crazy about Topaz is she has a vulnerability specialist, particularly for follow-up attacks. In Feixiao, every time somebody attacks, she follows up, just like who else does that? Ratio when he pops his ultimate. But she can only do it inside or in between her turns. She can only do a follow-up one time per turn. So basically, making sure that she goes twice or even 3 times if you can build enough speed on her is very beneficial for Feixiao. Now you might be asking yourself, why Aventurine or Linksha? Well, you should already know Aventurine is the best sustainer in the entirety of the game for follow-up comps because he triggers follow-up attacks, the more follow-up attacks that are triggered on the comp. He also protects your team, and then he has a debuff that's going to enable you to do a little more damage, and he's also a DPS himself. Basically, Robin's team, we already know, is Topaz and Aventurine. And then it used to be Dr. Ratio on that left-hand side, which it still can be. Don't get me wrong. Ratio can still pop off. but Feixiao is shitting on Ratio. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Feixiao, like I told you, she is T0 level. The bitch is really strong. Now Lingsha, can you swap Aventurine out for Lingsha? Yes. Why? Because Lingsha also goes a bunch of times. She's just like, she's a 5-star version of Gallagher, right? She can do an attack and then she can ult and then she can go again. So again, manipulation equals battery for Feixiao. So this is a T0 comp, okay? Now, let's see what the next best comp could be. It might shock you, but based off of the research I've done on paper, you'd be surprised to know that 2 4-star units with a Robin in this team is actually really fucking strong. So March 7th can not only give a 60% crit damage over to Feixiao, she can also give her a 10.8% speed boost. And honestly, if you have enough speed built into your Feixiao's kit, you can rock an attack percent boot and still go twice thanks to March 7th. Not only that, March 7th also, she goes a lot of times. This bitch is broken. I just figured this out. But like, you unlock an Eidolon and then she starts following up. She starts doing follow-up attacks when your Shifu attacks. Then when you pop her point system thingy, she just immediately advances herself for it and goes again. Remember I told you, as many times as they do action value, Feixiao's getting batteries towards her ultimate. And when she ults, motherfuckers is dying pretty much. Moze is one of those monstrous 4-star DPSs when placed on the right team. Obviously, the right team's going to be Feixiao or follow-up comps, believe it or not. This guy actually, not only does he deal DPS, not only does he go a bunch of times and has a follow-up attack kit as well. So he's going to be a battery for Feixiao, but the dude's a support. The dude gives a support bonus. He has a vulnerability damage bonus in his kit that's significant. He also has a crit damage bonus in his kit with Eidolons being unlocked. So I'm like, holy shit. You put these two together and you put a Robin on the team. And again, or I'm sorry, not together, one or the other. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you don't want to build up Moze, then use the Imaginary March. If you don't want to build up March, then use the Moze. It's up to your preference. But one or the other, regardless of who you choose, with a Robin, a banger ass team. And Feixiao is going to be popping off on top of them. Now, the cool thing about Moze is his bonus is applied to the enemy, which means everybody else can benefit from that bonus, not just him, provided that they are follow-up attack specialists. And I think his crit damage bonus just applies, period. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does to the person. He has to basically just make them his prey. So Aventurine's going to deal more damage with him, as well as Feixiao and as well as himself, and even March 7th. I really like these Feixiao comps because, again, everybody's popping off, including Robin. Robin's additional damage bonus ain't nothing to fucking scoff at either. So this is, I'm not sure, but I'm predicting it's going to be T0.5 strength level. It might be T1, but I'm thinking it's going to be T0.5. Now, here's the next question. What happens if we do not own Robin? If you don't have Robin, Feixiao is still strong, but she's definitely going to drop off. In my prediction, she's going to drop off to the T1 category. That's provided that you have Topaz, because Topaz is just as, no, hell no, not just as, but a notch under Robin for the value of Feixiao. Again, the action value manipulation, the vulnerability damage bonus. If you have like a E1 Topaz plus her Sig, oh, this bitch is cracked for Feixiao. So you put her next to Moze. Now you have 2 vulnerability debuffs being applied to the target that the whole team gets bonus from. So Feixiao, Topaz, Moze, and all the DPS on the team are going to benefit from both of those vulnerability bonus being put on that one target. Moze gives a crit damage bonus in addition to this, as well as Topaz if you have her E1. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But then you have Feixiao taking advantage of all this action value manipulation and getting her ult up while popping off. So it's just a follow-up fucking, like, it's bonanza, I guess. It's a follow-up bonanza over here, brother. So I think this comp here is T1. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it outperforms T1 level of DPS. I wouldn't be surprised if it does that. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, though, and I'm going to play it safe and say it's T1 level of strength. Now, what if you don't have Topaz and you don't have Robin? This is the point where I would say you should probably skip Feixiao because her value is going to drop off substantially. These 2 units are just really fucking strong for Feixiao. They're very good for Feixiao. And if you don't have one or the other, then now you're stepping into free to play territory, which this is the free to play team I would choose. It would be Feixiao with Imaginary March 7th, Moe's 2 4-stars, and you can even throw a Gallagher in there in placement if you don't have a Venturine. But that team comp is not going to be performing on no T0 or no T0.5 level. And I doubt it's going to be performing on a T1 level as well. Probably more like T2. So what I do want to say, though, is that Feixiao is self-sufficient. She provides herself with her own attack percent, her own damage bonus. And when you get her light cone, that shit pops off too. I'll save that video for another day. But she's a really, really fucking powerful unit, which is why she's not like Firefly. Whereas if you don't have both units, like Firefly falls off a goddamn cliff if you don't have Harmony MC and Ron May. Like if you lose either one of them, the bitch just falls. She goes from T0 to T3. Whereas Feixiao, if you don't have one or the other, she still pops off. She still can perform. She's got a lot more flexibility to her kit, but you do kind of want one or the other. Based off of what I've seen, you definitely want one or the other. And if you don't, then don't be surprised if that value drops off substantially. Now, I did throw these two in because they can be some good alternatives depending on what your account looks like. The benefit of him is similar to Moe's, except obviously even more easier to proc. His vulnerability applies to the entirety of the fucking team. So everybody, every single one of them DPSs are going to benefit from his damage bonus, including Robin. He works very fucking well with Robin because Robin's additional damage, it receives that vulnerability damage bonus. So I could see him being beneficial, and I can also see Sparkle's action value manipulation being beneficial. I can actually see a Bronya Sparkle Robin comp working out well because they're just making Feixiao go 87 fucking times. In Feixiao's ult, it doesn't matter who's doing the action attacks, it's going to get the battery so long as you're doing a bunch of attacks. So these are the teams that I chose for my top Feixiao teams. Will there be other people bringing out teams that I didn't list up here? Possibly. Probably so, but this is what I think is going to work the best for her. If you don't like what you're seeing up here, you probably should skip Feixiao. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hopefully this brought you guys some good insight with regards to what you can expect her teams to look like in terms of the most prevalent and efficient ones and the ones being utilized. And comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.